Carnival of Doom are a freak show themed supervillain group who are the primary enemies of the Lightning Knights, at least the faction led by Ace Lightning, who seek the Amulet of Zor to gain unlimited power and take over the universe. Led by Lord Fear, it's currently unknown how the group was formed and what most of their origins are, but each member seems to have a personal grudge against Ace. It's possible this hatred is what brought them together in the first place. The first encounter with Ace, they managed to steal the amulet, but it shattered into 14 pieces and scattered throughout the carnival itself. However, Ace managed to find all the pieces and imprisoned the evil gang, minus the shapeshifter Lady Illusion, who managed to break free the other members to continue their conquest. At the start of the series, some members of the carnival are transported into the real world, where they take over the local carnival and spend the rest of the series finding different amulet pieces and battling the knights. As more amulet shards are found, more members of the gang are summoned from the sixth dimension. An interesting feature for some of the members is whenever they're defeated in battle, they merge into a real-world object to recharge. Most of these homes are usually based on an aspect of the character. At the end of Series 1, Lord Fear managed to complete the amulet and use its powers to drain the knights of their energy. But his victory is short-lived, as Mark Hollander, Ace's human sidekick, managed to break the amulet and send the villains back into the game. Minus Lady Illusion, but we'll get to that story later. But not before Fear lets out one final warning to one day return and get his revenge. In Season 2, Lord Fear summoned back by the Master Programmer and once again tries to take over the world with the amulet and destroy Ace. However, a new villain named Kilobyte overthrows Fear and takes over the carnival for his own plans for world domination. The rest of Season 2 follows the same format as the first, with both old and new members joining the carnival and Kilobyte completing the amulet. However, a temporary team-up between Ace and Fear managed to defeat Kilobyte, sending the villains back into the game and Fear going into hiding. As the series was cancelled, it's unknown if the Carnival of Doom was ever put down for good. But now that the story is done, let's take a closer look at the members. Lord Fear and Staffhead, the founder and original leader of the Carnival and Ace Lightning's arch-enemy. While he was once an ally to the Knights, he became obsessed with the amulet's power, and after a battle accidentally got crippled by Ace, making their rivalry personal. As an undead skeleton, he can extend his limbs to reach long distances and wrap around his opponents to crush them. Always at his side is his weapon, walking stick, and closest friend, Staffhead, who can fire green bolts of energy from the orb on the top of his head. Usually at Lord Fear's side, he can be known to be quite independent on his own. Fear tries to present himself as an educated gentleman, but he has a fiery temper and tends to take it out on his henchmen. However, he has shown to be intelligent and cunning when he needs to be, thinking up schemes to get pieces of the amulet or getting revenge on his enemies. In Season 2, he gains the Doom Wagon from Kilobyte, a coffin-styled motorbike that can fly and has a chainsaw at the front of the vehicle. When he's not engaging in his evil ways, he's usually found inside the haunted house, playing on his organ or doing other human activities, causing him to become less threatening as the series went on. But make no mistake, never underestimate this fleshless madman. In the last episode, after being overthrown by Kilobyte, Fear teams up with Ace to be rid of him. However, after defeating Kilobyte, he betrays Ace by striking him down, but it was actually Lady Illusion in disguise. He's last seen riding off into the night with Dirty Rat. His whereabouts after this is unknown. It's also unknown if he had a morphin home like the other villains, but in the Season 1 finale, he did morph into a skeleton on the ghost train outside a haunted house. Lady Illusion was Lord Fear's partner in crime and supposed lover. Her ability to morph into anything and anyone makes her one of the most dangerous members of the Carnival, along with her power to create crystal balls that can create explosions, imprison captives, and spy on any unexpected foes. When the series starts, she displayed a sadistic personality. However, over time she grew tired of the real world and wished to return to the sixth dimension, leading her to branch out on her own. After being rescued by Ace, she soon develops feelings for him, eventually turning into a complicated romance. Her loyalties are tested throughout Season 1 until the last episode, where she betrays Fear and saves Ace. In Season 2, she's still with the Carnival, either being abused by Fear for her betrayal or getting upgraded by Kilobyte. One of her upgrades was the ability to create orange-style crystal balls that can give Ace human emotions, with the plan to use these emotions to destroy him, but her love for him was too strong and she sacrifices herself to save him and is sent back into the sixth dimension. It's unknown if she had a morphin home, but due to her shape-shifting abilities, she probably didn't need one. Kilobyte and Fred. Introduced in Season 2, Kilobyte, the Cyberstalker, becomes the main villain after taking over the Carnival from Fear. Since he didn't originate from the game, his origins were unknown, until it was revealed he was created by the master programmer to be the ultimate villain to Ace. With knowledge on the sixth dimension and 4 tentacles that can drain and upgrade the character's different powers, after allowing a wasp to sting him, it absorbed some of his power and soon mutates into a giant monster, becoming Kilobyte's pet and mode of transport, which he named Fred. To recharge himself, he morphs into the Carnival's Ferris wheel. Originally presenting himself as a cold and calculating predator-type villain, he soon freed himself from the master programmer's control and became unhinged, planning to send every human into the game and take over the world. But thanks to the combined efforts of Ace and Fear, he was defeated and sent into the game himself. But he vowed revenge. Dirty Rat. A small and sneaky rat who serves as Lord Fear's spy. With his wings he can fly at great speeds and can generate crystal balls, similar to Lady Illusion's, only smaller and less destructive. Fitting with his species' cliché, Dirty Rat is both greedy and power-hungry, always finding the right opportunity to suck up to whoever is in charge or to find a way to backstab him to become in charge himself. However, his cowardly nature will always prevent him at the end of the day. When he gets defeated, he morphs into a stone gargoyle outside the haunted house. Anvil. A humanoid rhino, he is the muscle of the gang. With his superhuman strength and anvil, he is a formidable foe. However, fitting with the all brawn, no brain stereotype, he's not the brightest member of the Carnival, always talking in first person, being slow-paced, and turning cowardly when being in the dark. He morphs into a test-your-strength machine at the Carnival. Pigface. Similar to Anvil, Pigface is not the smartest, but makes up for it for his speed and never-ending appetite for everything. His vulgar attitude can make him unappealing, but he seems to have a childlike personality. In Season 2, he gains the ability to shoot snot that can trap or drain people of energy. He morphs into a carnival bin, which bears a striking resemblance to him. Googler. A demented jester with 2 puppets, Zip and Snip, Googler has a personal grudge against Ace after banishing him into white-hot oblivion in the second dimension. He has the ability to crawl up into a spiky ball that can roll or bounce onto unsuspected foes. His two puppets can fly off his hands and munch onto anything. With their venom, they can knock people out or turn them into mindless zombies. In Season 2, he can cause lightning knights to bleed out data, making them fade out of existence. Whenever he is defeated, he morphs into a small puppet theatre. While introduced much later than the other members, Googler proved to be one of the most dangerous of the gang. Rockgut, an undead cowboy zombie, or Walking Dead as he prefers to be called, Rockgut was one of the new villains for Season 2. Despite being one of the bad guys, he displayed a friendly personality, never really causing any harm to anybody and not showing any special powers, apart from his limbs falling off and running off, making him appear to be the weakest member until the episode Rockgut Rides Again, where it's revealed he can possess people, as poor Chuck discovers. He can morph into a cowboy-themed golf course, Giant George Wayne. A giant statue of a cowboy, brought to life from evil spirits that served as a boss alongside Dirty Rat in the video game adaptation. While never appearing in the real world, he does pop up in Season 2 when Ace and Sparks are trapped in the game. There is a possibility that he would have been summoned eventually, or appear in the cancelled Season 3. Buzzbeast was a deleted character that never appeared in the series itself, but his design was just too good not to include. He would have been a large dinosaur-type creature with buzzsaws around his body. It's possible he wasn't included because he would have been too violent for a children's show. Plus, the CGI would have been too expensive. Candy Floss was to be a new villain for Season 3 and would have been Lord Fear's new partner in crime. She was going to be a punk-themed archer who would have used Candy Floss to trap her enemies. If the series did continue, her appearance would have most likely been toned down to be a bit more child-friendly. Mortar, a rock-like construction worker who would have been a villain for Season 3. Gasmaster, a balloon-looking villain who got deleted, or maybe would have been a Season 3 villain. Who knows? Carnival drones, small gremlin-type creatures who would have disguised themselves as stuffed animals found all around the carnival, most likely as common foot soldiers. While they never made it in the show, the idea of stuffed animals being used as disguises was eventually used by Dirty Rat. As the Carnival of Doom itself is the main location in the game, the villains themselves appear as bosses in all 5 sections, but they are also joined by all sorts of different enemies that match the theme of that world. The first section is Googler's Big Top, which, as the name suggests, is a circus-themed section where Googler appears as the boss at the end. The second section is the House of Illusion, owned by Lady Illusion. The third section is Cowboy Crossroads, where Dirty Rat is the leader of a gang of undead cowboys, which might be what Rockgut was based on. The fourth section is Clamberg Castle, who has Random Virus as the boss. As mentioned in the Lightning Knights file, Virus was occasionally a member of the Carnival whenever his evil side was in control. And the final section, the Haunted House, where Lord Fear is joined by Pigface and Anvil as the final boss. Now that the video game characters have been covered, the next file will go over the real world setting that the show takes place in.